time to say goodbye to the Tuamotus. We leave the safe anchorage and head on. Our course is set for Tahiti, the first of the Society Islands. The weather turns significantly wet and we have good wind. It's a short 2-day sail. The sunset is wonderful and so is the sail. We arrived too early in Tahiti and need to drift. In the early morning hours we make our way back towards Tahiti and we get the glimpse of Moorea, the sister island. We plan to do some maintenance in Tahiti and of course more explorations. The first excursion takes us uphill. A fancy restaurant with great views, even from the toilets. A small one-lane road has led us up here to this belvedere. The view over Papeete, the lagoon and Moorea is spectacular. So is the drive back down the steep road. Fortunately, summer brought along some CDs with local music for entertainment. Soon we are back to the outskirts of Papeete. Past the fancy town hall, we get to the main road. It's the one road that leads around the island. It leads us along the coast to some cascades. At the south end of the island we want to do a little hike. The Genre Botanic has a viewpoint. The interior of the island is pretty rough, so we decide to see some beaches on the west side. Moorea in the background will be our next destination. And it's time to go shopping, as long as we have the car. What a strange feeling, moving that fast. The rest of the week is maintenance. Always a good opportunity to see the area from top.
Heute war nochmal ein Mastabentag. Schauen, ob alles hebt, alles tipptopp, so wie es aussieht. Wir sind bereit, weiter nach Westen fahren. Fahren wir durch Moorea. Mit diesem neuen Gast an Bord, dem Kurt. Kurt, was meinst du zum Wetter?
Ist mein erster Tag heute, super. Aber ist ganz fein.
Our new crew, Kurt, enjoys the nice weather. But unfortunately not too long. The trip to Moorea turns out gusty and really wet. The next day brings sunshine and a trip to a tourist attraction. They feed stingrays, and of course that attracts some small sharks. But swimming with these guys is really exciting. We ride back in our dinghies. The crew of Marion ahead. We follow behind to do a little hike together. We want to see the Belvedere that overlooks Opunue Bay and Cook's Bay. Our next stop is Tahaa. The mountains are much smaller, but the lagoon way bigger than in Morea. And there's a nice path to snorkel again.
Jump. Und zwar ist das der Jump.
There are plenty of corals and thousands of small fish. But it lacks the big fish and the sharks. We'd have to pass several times and take a long cruise from different boats. There's a 30-meter drop-off with some overhanging reefs. We spend a few days here before going over to Raiatea. We have strong winds over to Raiatea, and this guy fell out of his kayak, so we helped him getting it back. Raiatea Carmenage had some maintenance parts. As soon as we got them, we left for Bora Bora. The weather was very mixed. We were not the only ones in squalls, but speed was really good. And finally, before reaching Bora Bora, the sun came out. So after a dramatic passage, we entered the wonderful Bora Bora lagoon.
Wir sind auf Bora Bora. Ich bin wieder mal auf dem Masttop.
It's always good to have a reason to go to the mast top. This time I exchanged the roller for the main halyard. But the weather changes quickly here.
Das Wetter ändert schnell da. Warmer Sonnenschein.
In the evening we went celebrating readiness to cross over to Tonga. The local songs were like sunshine on this rainy evening. But this was only the start, as there was the Heiva festival. Three days in a row we went to see the festival. and it was not very dry. The only quiet day was Sunday, and the locals were gambling. However, no alcohol on Sundays. Celebrations continue. And the weather got rainier and rainier. I had to do a little diving, and the only spectacular point was an old sailboat. I hope Jedaka never ends up like this. Even though the fish seem to like it. The next day we hiked to other ruins, World War II ruins, old cannons, and the best location.
Wir genießen hier die Aussicht auf Bora Bora. Und auch hier jetzt ab und zu mal alte Relikte. Ja, im Zweiten Weltkrieg ist auch hier gekriegt worden.
Welcome to Bora Bora's resort world. We decided to take the unbeaten path down the hill. The locals were kind of surprised seeing us getting out of the jungle. The drums we heard daily at anchor invited us for next hike. Up this mountain. Three boats joined to attempt the hike. It turned out to be muddy, slippery, but with beautiful views. And some ropes for the steep passages. We didn't like these conditions too much, so we turned around after a nice viewpoint. We headed back to get some ice cream before leaving to Tonga. So we left the world of the locals and the world of the resort tourists of Bora Bora. We enter our own world of cruising and passage making again. Jedaka stuffed with food and maintained well, we are ready to take the next big step over the Pacific. A bientôt, French Polynesia.